Well, hello everyone. It's about time I do one of these. It's been since before Christmas for sure. Was my last video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kyle. The name of my channel is Stitching and Sound because this channel is primarily about cross stitch, but I also like to talk about music. So that's kind of where that comes from. And if you are returning, me love you long time. I'm gonna be fully transparent here. I did kind of make an outline of what I'm going to talk about, but I have not rehearsed anything like I usually don't. I just kind of know what I need to say, and in the order I need it to flow, because it's not going to be the typical, talk about this, okay, bye. There's all of the stuff I want to talk about kind of flows together, mainly because I don't know if you don't follow me on Instagram, just do it because I'm fun. But I have been in a stitching slump lately. So there's a lot of like key events that happen in certain sequential order that I need to kind of follow for everything to make sense. So when we get to that, it'll all make sense. As you can tell, this has not been thought out prior because I feel like I just had a bad case of verbal diarrhea there. But that's okay. We're here to have fun. We're going to talk about crafts that we love. Let's view my mug here. And isn't that the truth? Let's be real. My question. I usually pose my question at the end of my video, but I'm gonna pose it at the beginning. How do you take your coffee? I do straight black coffee, and it's got to be dark roast. If my coffee does not make me wince or make me feel like I'm going to immediately crap my pants, my coffee is not strong enough. So how do you guys take your coffee? Let me know in the comments. Hello, everyone. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday and a safe new year. I hope all of y'all are safe. It's colder than a witch's tit in a brass bra here today, so I'm rocking diamond cutters. And if you don't know what diamond cutters are, that means it's so cold out that my nipples could scratch diamond or cut diamond, so rather so. Anyway, I feel like I've maybe gone a little bit too far in the first couple of minutes here, but that's okay. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. Let's see. For Christmas, I went home. I'm going to get you caught up with my life here, then we'll get into the stitchy stuff. Went home with family for Christmas, which was nice because I didn't get to go home for Christmas last year to see them because of, the world. And what I got for Christmas was chocolate, alcohol, and money, which, to be real, that's all I actually need in life. So, successful Christmas on my end. New Year's, I had a terrible cold for like 2 days, and then I was fine. We went to my cousin's house down in Des Moines, and we hung out there and had some charcuterie, which was nice, and just played games. That was my holiday excitement. Not a whole lot going on, so just spending time with family and having just a wonderful time. So, I'm sure I'm going to allude to this in the title of this video, but my stitchy bug has kind of gone away. And I feel like it's been a couple of, different factors playing into it. I've barely watched Flosstube. The only channels I've really kept up with over the last month and a half, 2 months, has been Brenda and the Serial Starter, Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher, and then Snug Harbor Crafts. Those are, which is, I remember when I would watch nothing but Flosstube. But, I mean, I'm just in one of those funks, if you will, So, I'll dive more into my Stitchy bug thing when we get to me starting to go through my stash and my whips and all that, because like I said, it's kind of a sequential type situation that just makes more sense when I show the stuff to ya. So, what have I been listening to? As far as like music goes, I've been listening to basically everything. I mean, I'm still hardcore listening to the Cocteau Twins. I highly recommend listening to them if you have not. Their famous album is Heaven or Las Vegas, which ended up being my most played album and song of 2021. Thank you, Spotify. So, listen to them if you're a fan of shoegaze or dream pop or whatever. Although their early stuff is very reminiscent of Susie and the Banshees, which they were my number one listened to artist of 2021 was Susie and the Banshees. So anyway, and then, been listening to Charlie XCX, which she's a hyper pop artist. Love her dearly. Let's see. Outside of my usual just Fleetwood Mac and stuff, that's what I've been listening to. Although I have made it a point for 2022 to keep my eye on new releases for music this year, because I always want to do a top 10 favorite albums of such and such year, but I always listen to stuff not current, so I can never make those lists. So that's my goal for 2022. So let's get started. Let's jump into the stitching. So I'm going to kind of go back asswards here, because usually finishes are what you show, last. I'm not, because I had a big finish, and holy cow, did it blow up on Instagram way more than it should have. And I'm going to show you. It was the Owl Forest Embroidery Alice in Wonderland Mystery SAL, and I got her finished. I'm sorry if, that's not, too incredibly inaccurate from what the fabric actually is. I finished this just before I left for Christmas, I think. Or did I finish it when I got back from Christmas? No. Before I left for Christmas, I think. I don't remember. But, anywhoosies. This is stitched on 36 count Luna from Color and Cotton. I use the Owl Forest hand-dyed cotton floss for this. It was great. I incredibly enjoyed stitching this. The one thing I did not like was the last three parts. So the last three parts were this thing, these things, and then the Queen of Hearts in the middle, which I predicted was going to be in the middle, was the Queen of Hearts. Holla. Instead of releasing the parts bi-weekly, every other week, the last three parts they released every weekend, so 3 weekends in a row got a new part, which kind of I didn't like, because it caused me to fall behind, and it's like, no, I needed time. I needed to finish it the day of the last part being released, which did not happen. But it's finished, and I loved it. I don't think I will do another mystery SAL like this, because unless their next mystery SAL is something that the theme really tickles my fancy, like Alice in Wonderland did, which is even kind of weird, because I'm a big Wizard of Oz fan, and even that mystery SAL didn't appeal to me. So, I don't know. It'll have to be something really, really good for me to want to do a mystery SAL, because the thing about mystery SALs is you don't know what it's going to look like. And if you don't know what it's going to look like, you don't know if you're going to like it when it's finished. So that was the gamble I was taking on that thing. But luckily it worked out, and she's very pretty. So yeah, that's going to go in my finishes bag up in my closet for a while. I don't know if I'll get that framed anytime soon. But it was a fun mystery SAL. I really enjoyed it. I liked seeing other people what they're stitching theirs on and how they're stitching with the variegated floss. It's really cool. And then some people are making some changes here or there, which is just great. And I love it. I love it. It was great. Anyway, so that is my one finish. That was my last finish of 2021. I don't think that was my only finish. I did finish a model in 2021. Surely I had other finishes last year, right? Oh, yeah. Redbird Sampler, Ada Hazelem, yeah, okay. 2021, time is an illusion. I don't remember anything anymore. The Bernie Sanders memes of him just sitting in the chair with his legs crossed and his mittens and his mask on, that's just now a year old. I swear those memes were like 3 or 4 years old at this point. Just, that's how screwy time is. So, I have, that's it. That's my finishes. So now what I'm going to do, because, I'm going to start, okay. I'm going to show you stash that I got, and it's going to be stash that doesn't necessarily play into my whole Stitchy bug type thing. Everything's going to have, I'm going to try my best to be, you know, as concise as possible. So, I got some Stitchy kindness, and I about cried. Okay, so my last video, I showed you all of my Just Nan acquisitions, from my birthday. Shortly after that, I think a week or so later, I get a message from Stacy, the 911 Stitcher. And I love Stacy. She's like, I've got do you have this? And I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, I'm going to send it to you. I'm like, oh my goodness. Thank you so much. So now, not only does Stacy have my address, I now have hers, and I'm going to go visit. And then we're just going to have a couple of cocktails, I think, is what's going to happen. But what did Stacy send me? What did 911 Stitcher send me? What did the sweet soul send me? She sent me the Just Nan gingerbread mouse fairy stocking. And look at how cute that is. And it comes with all the finishing material, but not just the finishing material, but it also... she also had the called for fabric, I think, and then the Krynic in there as well. And I think this is just for the stocking, not for the mouse. I could be wrong, because I have not actually opened it to actually look to see if the mouse pattern is included. I don't think it would be, but... And then, not only did she send that, but she sent, because this was still around Christmas time, she sent me, and okay, hold on. Just gonna get these out here. She sent me Christmas flosses. And the first one, it looks like, I believe it's XJU Designs, Mariska's Red. Ooh, that's showing up very, very accurate. Look at that bright Christmassy red, slight dark variegation in there. Oh, it's yummy. And then... she also included Be Stitch Me hand-dyed silk shamrock. Those... Wait, hold on. Oh, never mind. This is shamrock, and then this is grass. They don't look like different colors in person, but I noticed on the camera, I was like, why do those look different? It's because they are. So, thank you, Stacy. That was very sweet of you. So, and she also did send a Christmas card. It's somewhere. If you didn't get a Christmas card for me, it's because I did not send them. So, just a heads up for that. And then what else did I get for stash? I got some stash. I did have a couple of other Stitchy kindness, but we'll get to that in a second. My dear friend Margot, she had a D-stash page. And, of course, she had this Just Nan little Princess Snow Owl thing ornament. So I had to pick that up. That comes with the embellishments and the finishing. It looks like the finishing yarn to, like, kind of give him his little whatever that's supposed to be. So love that. And then, oh, God. Okay, so then I went on to eBay, which probably never good. And this pisses me off. Okay, I got the 12 Days of Christmas Whimsy from Just Nan. No embellishments for this one. It looks like there's a couple of, like, buttons, but I don't, like, on the frame here. But I don't, yeah, but I don't think those were ever, like, actually a thing. I believe the frames you could buy, but I don't know. But anyway, so, and it is all 12 days. And they're just cute, the cutest ornaments. And you can either turn it into a sampler, or you can turn it into a sampler if you want, because they did give, I'm sorry, like, everything's getting semi-blown out, because they give you a picture of sort of what the layout would be if you'd want to do it as a sampler. But so isn't that cute? And then here's what kind of pisses me off. So somebody was selling on eBay a bunch of Just Nans. I got that last one from the same seller. Well, there's this one called Barnaby's Quest, okay? But it's separated into 3 parts. I had bids on all 3 parts. Guess which one I won? I won part 2. Somebody, and I don't even know if the same person won part 1 and 3, but I somehow only won part 2, which, okay. So now I gotta try to either A, find someone who's selling part 1 and 3 separate, like in another single listing, or I gotta figure out who wants to get rid of parts 1 and 2 of a complete set of, I don't know. When it comes to stuff like this, people, could we, like, please include the entire set in one listing? Can we just please? Okay? Especially, it's one thing if each could stand on their own, but, like, and I know the cover of this, it shows part 2 in its own frame, but it's literally all supposed to be stitched just one sampler. So can we please just do that? Thank you. But it comes with a lovely, comes with a lovely rooster charm. You can't really see it. Or, you know, rooster, but, you know what some people call it sometimes. Just, Anyway, so there's that. And then I was on Stash Unload, which I need to maybe stop being on. And I saw this wonderful Brenda Keys sampler. And if there's one designer I don't know much about, it's Brenda Keys. And this is the Heaven Doth Ask sampler. And I just think it is just the cutest thing ever. A lot of grass on there, though. Damn grass. And it says, weak though we are, to love is no hard task, and love for love is all heaven doth ask. Isn't that sweet? I love that. And then, new Mirabilia came out 15th of December. It's always the 15th of each month. And this one just tickled all of my fancies, so I knew I had to get it right away. It is the Snow Maiden. I absolutely just love that. I know it's not going to focus, but just the colors on this just really got me. I just think it is beautiful. I almost kitted this up, not going to lie. Which is rare for me to want to kit up a new Mirabilia right away, because it seems a lot of the newer ones have more chart errors that aren't corrected before going to print, which is kind of, like, I get there's, like, human error stuff, but I have a feeling a lot of those errors were probably addressed and just weren't corrected. So I'm just anyway. And then, did I get this off of eBay? No, I did not. This was off Stash Unload again. This is a sampler. The sampler. It is it is Isabella Carter McLean, 1799, and it is the kit for this too. And it's signed by whoever the designer is. I don't. And it comes apparently with all the silk. I apparently, I have no way to actually verify that this is all silk. I will say it doesn't feel like cotton, but I also don't know how long this stuff has been in this bag, so I don't... I have no way to actually verify that it's the actual silk threads. However, for the price that I bought it for, even if it was the cotton, it was more than reasonable for this, so... There's that. I almost wanted to start that, because it was like, why not, you know? And then, oh wow, her name is Erica. Okay, I'm glad she was, like, looking out for me, because, you know, I need to have all the hard-to-find stuff. And to be honest, this one wasn't even really that hard to find, but I checked my phone one day at lunch, and I see someone tag me in a post, and it was for a D-Stash group, so I'm like, okay, is this somebody tagging me in a Just Nan thing that I most likely already have, or in a Mirabilia, or maybe it's going to be something I don't want, but oh wow. God bless this person for tagging me, because I didn't think it was going to be nearly this easy to find it. I thought it was going to take me a little while. And not only was it easy to get, the seller was selling it for retail. So I didn't pay too enormous of a price for it. Well, what am I talking about? I'm talking Ann Morrison, 1830, from Hands Across the Sea sampler. This was the Traditional Stitches 20th anniversary chart, which, I'm going to be honest, I totally spaced on this when this was even a thing. So I, of course, didn't buy it. I did get Traditional Stitches, newest Hands Across the Sea, Esther Blackwood. I do have that. So I told myself, you know, I'm never going to miss out on those again. So I'm glad I have this, and it's I mean, it's a really beautiful chart. I mean, here's what the... it's very beautiful. I know Luda finished this a couple of months ago. I don't know who else has finished. And it does come with the like, the bookmark, too, so... And it was brand new. I mean, there's not a crease on here that I didn't accidentally make. But yeah, I'm glad Erica was looking out for me that day, because I think after I hit Me Please, somebody else commented like a minute later. So I was there. So potential start in 2 or 3 years, who knows? But that was very exciting. So that's gonna go in the collection. And then my dear Lori Textilist. If you don't watch her videos, please go watch her, because I love Lori so much, and she knows how much I love her, because I cried on her shoulder. So see, that doesn't happen very often. So but when she had, I think there were like prototypes of these at the Midwest, or excuse me, Farm Girl Gatherings retreat here this past, was it October or November? What month was it this past year? No, October? October. And I didn't know that she had these until afterwards, but she had mentioned in her video that she was going to be making some of these, and I just messaged her if anybody was interested. And of course I did. And they are these little journals, if you will. And very Christmassy, obviously. There's Santa on here. And I don't remember what the pattern is. It's a specific pattern. I don't remember. But I got one in red, and I think this one is stone. I think is what this one was. I don't know if she's got any more left. I know that this one was kind of limited just due to the red material. But these are essentially just like little, I think the purpose is to be like, just to track your stitching progress, but I'm using it to write my sweet nothings in. So, if you are interested in these, I would reach out to Lori on Instagram. I think she's still under Textilist on there. I would just send her a message on there, see if she's got any available, and then go from there. So, I was very excited when those came in. So, I know she had talked about making bigger ones, but I think that's kind of in the works for later. So yes. So there's that. Wonderful. That's most of my stash, but let's get into... we're going to start with a couple of days before January 1st. Okay, and why do I say that? Well, a dearest member of our cross-stitching community, who I will from here on out refer to as Aunt Laura, because I was talking with Jody Trixie Tricycle over Messenger, and she referred to her and Laura as my stitching aunts, which I'm also going to group in Betsy Klager in there, because I feel like she is also my stitching aunt. She's anyway, I have a lot of stitchy aunts. I have a lot of stitchy relatives, but and my dearest Aunt Laura. There was a big old birthday SAL started for her. I think it was literally called #Laura's Big Birthday SAL. And the idea was to stitch Elizabeth Isles from the Scarlet Letter. Well, sorry, there's a hair in my mouth. Guess who didn't have Elizabeth Isles to prepare for this? You know, it was me. I did not have that. But I said, I'm still going to stitch something for Laura's birthday, and it has to be something, it's got to be something just so big and over the top that it just screams yes. And not only is this design big enough to just make up one SAL, it's probably a combination of about 5 different things. Because I did buy this on my birthday and then kitted it up on my birthday. I did not start it on my birthday, though. I started it a couple of days before the 1st. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Well, I'm going to show you. I'm talking... The Heart's Ease, Virginia, a Cumberland County inspiration. This is what I did. This is what I started, not just for Laura's birthday, but this was also a combination, Laura's birthday new start, Kyle's birthday new start, Christmas new start, and a New Year new start. Because, come on, we're talking 65 pages of just wonderfulness. And so I'm going to show you where I started it. Let me tell you what it's on first, because that's probably the more shocking thing. It's on 40 count Winter White from Seraphim Fabrics. Now, why did I do 40 count? Well, in the long run, it's going to be cheaper because I only need to use one thread, one strand of floss. If I were to do this on 36 count, I would not be doing one strand of floss. I would be doing 2 strands of floss. And that, in turn, would cost more money. So, it's still going to be gigantic, but, so here's where I am. How far did I get? That's where I am. That's how far I got. It's wonderful to stitch, though. Her, I think her name is Teresa Baird. Yes. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the last name right, but, the charts are just so clear, and I think about 25 of these pages are just instructions running down each, like, motif of the sampler, but, I mean, this bird is so cute. This thing is, this is an entire fat half of 40 count. So I stitched this in about 3 days. So I kind of put this away. It was either the 31st or the 2nd of January. Time is an illusion. I don't remember. But what the real question is, I'm gonna be honest, I'm running out of places to put shit. The real question is, you know, what am I storing this in? What am I storing this in? Because this is a lot of material. All of my bags are kind of taken by other projects I haven't looked at for a couple of years. And I didn't want to put it in just like a plastic bag or just throw it in the thing or whatever. Well, I get a message from my dear Aunt Laura asking me for my address, which at first I thought she was asking me for my address because she was going to come over and we're going to go to the local bar and just have a couple of drinks and then stitch while just talking. And I'm just like, why do you need my address? She's like, I'm going to send you something. I'm like, no, it was just your birthday. If anything, I should be sending you something. She's like, no, give me your address. So I gave her my address. And then it arrived. Whatever it was she was sending me. I was trying to think what it could have possibly been that she was sending me. I'm thinking charts. I'm thinking something just Nan that I had mentioned in a previous video that I'm having the worst time finding, and then she had it and she was going to send it to me. And that wasn't the case. It was something, I'm going to be honest, it was something better. So let me just read you. No, I'm not going to read you. I'm going to show you, because then I will... No, I'm going to read you. I'm going to read you this lovely card here. Dear Kyle, I am sending you a project bag just because I think you are keen. Love, Laura. Well, what was the bag she sent me? And I about started crying. I messaged her right away when I opened it, and I about started crying. It's got my channel name on there. I was just, I mean, the tears were welling. They were there. I mean, because it's like, I don't know. I wanted to cry. I'm not a crier. Even though I did just say a little bit ago I cried on Lori's shoulder at a retreat, but that's neither here nor there. I wanted to cry. I mean, because, like, it's one thing to be gifted something, but that's another to be gifted something that is literally personalized for you. That's got that extra, just, right in the feels. And then my heart did this thing, and then I might have passed out. Then I woke up and took a shot of bourbon. That was good. But I was definitely surprised. So now that means I need to figure out something to send her that will just give her an H and H, because not only did I have an H and H when I opened that, but I wasn't even able to mind my P's and Q's because I was having such an H and H. It was ridiculous. So thank you, Aunt Laura. But here's where story time comes in. I was kind of feeling it as I was stitching the sampler. My heart wasn't into it. It wasn't. I could feel it. I was looking at it there on the key snap. My heart wasn't into it. I had to force myself to actually finish that little flower motif there before putting it away. I'm just like, what's going on here? This isn't like me. Where's the urge to stitch? So I put it away. And when I put projects away, and I know people will say, well, when you feel that stitchy bug, going away, look at all you've got. Maybe you'll get inspiration from there. As a routine for me, when I put something away, when I'm just done working on it doesn't even have to be because I lost my Stitchy bug or anything. When I put something away after I'm done working on it, I literally look at every whip that I've got, and I usually sit there for about an hour or two trying to decide what I want to work on. Well, because I kind of felt my Stitchy bug kind of waning, not only did I look at all my whips, I then started looking through all of my charts one by one, thinking, maybe I need a new start. Maybe I need a new start. Nothing was calling to me, so I just put that away, and I didn't stitch for probably a week or two, give or take. And it's like, I'm just like, I didn't have the urge to stitch. And then one night I kind of did the same thing. I just kind of went through all my stuff to kind of look. So I'm like, okay, what do I got here? And then I got to the point where I started looking at new releases. And I'm like, nothing is calling me. I don't want to stitch. I don't want to stitch. I do not want to stitch. I think because it was such a routine for me to stitch, I felt like I needed to stitch something. I needed to be doing something, stitching, I really try not to force stitching to happen, but I just felt like I needed to be stitching something. So one day I'm just like, okay, out of everything that I have right now, here's maybe what might spark that. So I pulled out a good old friend, the Bewitched Swamp from Owl Forest Embroidery, okay? And here's the progress that I got in about 3 days. The only thing that was completed by the time I had pulled this out again was this like tree house in the middle. But all of this I stitched in 3 days. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, holy cow, that is a lot of progress. You must have loved doing that. Yeah, you would think that would be the case. The thing is, I was stitching this basically on autopilot. I was literally going through the motions while stitching this. I was just in and out, in and out, in and out, cut, loop method, in and out, in and out. Now that's not to say I hated stitching this by any means, because obviously if I hated it, I would not have done this much. However, I was not, getting anything from it. I was not feeling the serotonin while I was stitching it. I was just stitching it. There was no beneficial, what's the word I'm looking for? Beneficial. There's no benefit for my happiness. Maybe is the way to say that. So after I finished one of the motifs, I just I put it away, think of something else. This is stitched on 32 count something. I don't know. I just know it's 32. It's a 32 count Belfast linen. That's really all they tell you for the most part. That's really all they tell you what it is. And since it's a kit, it did come with all the called for threads. So, I love Owl Forest Embroidery. I do. I love it. But I was not like, oh, yes, this is exciting. I want to keep doing this. No, it wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. It was not happening. So I put that away. And then I just decided, I've been waiting for a certain chart to come back in stock, okay? And I think I had clicked send me an email notification about 3 or 4 different sites to notify me when this was in stock. Well, I finally got the email that this certain chart had been back in stock, because I've been wanting this chart for a while, and it's just been sold out everywhere. So in the back of my mind, I'm just like thinking, you know, the only thing I can really think of to get me in my stitchy groove again might be this one chart. Well, I got the email that it was back in stock on 123 Stitch. And so I just placed the order for this chart. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because I did stitch something else before it arrived, and I'll show that to you. So I placed my order, and now it was time for the waiting game. I kind of felt the excitement a little bit, but it's just like, am I really desiring to actually stitch? But I still wanted to do something with my hands, so I kind of just like gave in to going back to another whip that I've showed on here a couple of times. And I have actually made quite the progress on this one. And this is Just Nan's Twilight Pearls Leaf Ball. That's what it'll look like finished, and I'm happy to inform you. And this is something that I took home over the holidays to stitch on, so a lot of this progress was done while I was at home. I'm happy to inform you, all of the stitching is done. All of the leaves are done. Now, it's much... this is coming across as gray on the camera for whatever reason. The color is much closer to a spearmint gum, okay? The fabric is a 32 count light lime linen. So there's all 24 green leaves, and if you couldn't tell, some of them have one-over-one ladybugs, which, if I ever stitch this again, I ain't putting them ladybugs on there, because those were a pain in the ass. And then for the purple leaves, those are completed. The only thing I have left to do on these is to put the beading. I have to bead them. But I think each one has only about like 6 beads, so it's not going to take too long to do that. But yeah, I spent this last week just finishing these up, just kind of to feel like I had finished something. And then also put in the ladybugs. Now, fun fact. This was all done in hand. I did not use a hoop or a Q-snap to stitch any of this. This was all done with my bare hands. So, I think that's why I hated doing the one-over-one ladybugs, because I was doing it in hand. And it sucked. It sucked. How do people do that, Carol? So, yeah, I would like to actually get everything finished with these, so like just want to finish the beading here soon, and then actually get motivated to fully finish it into the lovely ball, okay? I really, really wish, because I have the snowball version, I know I said this in my last video, I really wish I would have had the fabric that I wanted to be able to start the snowball, because it's winter, you know. Would have been nice to have like a snowball finish sometime during winter, but I ain't stitching 2 of these in a row, so whenever this is finished, I'll eventually get back to the snowball, so yeah. So, finish that stitching. My chart hadn't arrived yet, so, I was just kind of like, I decided just to do a new start, and this was of the Luca S. Not Forgotten chart. I mean, this is full coverage. And you would think, ooh, he's doing a new start. His stitchy bug is back. Well, you would think that, wouldn't you? Here's how far I got. That's how far I got. Is this upside down? Oh, wait, no, hold on. Yep, it is. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Oh, it goes like this. That's how far I got. That was just one night of stitching, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not enjoying this. I'm putting them away. So, yeah, as you can tell, my stitchy bug was not was not back yet. Because I was like, okay, you know, I stitched a while on a pearly leaf ball. Chart hasn't arrived yet. I'm feeling like a new start, maybe? And so I started this and just like, ain't working for me. Ain't working. But I really do, I love, as you can tell, it's on a gridded fabric. It's an 18 count Aida. And it's full coverage. So the thing is, I really kind of wanted to start in the top left corner with this. So I could do like parking and everything. But it's like, I really did not feel like measuring the fabric and then seeing where I would need to start in the corner. Now, if I had custom cut the fabric myself, I would have done it that way, like I did for my Heaven and Earth design that I should eventually work on at some point. You know, but didn't do that because I kind of miss working on that, and I really enjoy the parking method when I was stitching Heaven and Earth design. But anyway, so I ended up one day making a post about where I got on my Owl Forest kit, and I kind of explained, you know, Stitchy bug is gone, whatever. I don't know if I messaged her or if she messaged me, but long story short, I am having a wonderful discussion with my my stitching Aunt Laura, who we love dearly. She's the cereal starter from Brandon and the Cereal Starter. And we get to talking about how my Stitchy bug is gone. And, you know, she brings up, oh, maybe a new start will help you. And I'm like, you know, Laura, I just, you know, I have this chart coming. I feel like this might be the only thing that would jumpstart my Stitchy bug. And she's like, oh my gosh, when it comes in, you let me know. And I'll start it too. I'll start it with you. Because I know Brenda's stitching this and this person's stitching it. And you let me know when the stuff arrives. I'll start it with you. And I'm like, Laura, love you. I agree. So then it arrived. And then, okay, hold on. Before I get to what it is, I kind of threw it in as a joke. As a joke, literally. It was just a joke because this hashtag is so absurd. Like, why? I was like, oh, we could, you know, call it hashtag Jumpstart Kyle Stitchy Bug SAL. That'd be funny. And, well, Laura made a post about it, so now it's kind of technically official. So, the big reveal. What is this chart? What is this? Well, it's a Hands Across the Sea sampler chart, and I would go as far as to say this is my second favorite chart of theirs, only to be the first being Harriet Hartland, which I've shown you guys in the past. There's something about the colors, and then the swans on this. The swans on this chart just, I was in love the moment it was released. Now, why didn't I buy it right away? I knew I was going to buy it eventually, but then it's like, when I needed it the most, it was out of stock. So, the moment it was in stock, I bought it. And I'm talking about, of course, Mary Snow from Hands Across the Sea Sampler. And I knew it was going to be arriving on, well, initially it said it was going to be arriving Thursday. So I called up Stitchery Nook. I'm like, Liz, I need this. Send it. Here's the supplies. Send it. She's like, okay. And luck would have it that the supplies arrived the next day, this past Wednesday, and then the chart arrived. So, one more look at Mary Snow. And what did I decide to stitch it on? I decided to stitch it on 36 count Winter White from Seraphim Fabrics. And of course, I am using 2 strands of floss, and God bless Nicola, because on her website, she did show what the floss usage would be if you were using 2 strands of DMC on 36 count. So, wonderful for that. So I am using the DMC. And here's where I got after one night of stitching. This was all one night of stitching, I think. I think maybe this part wasn't. I don't think his tail was there, and maybe a little bit of his feather there. But for the most part, all of this was first night stitching. And that was Wednesday night. Have I stitched on this since? Last night, I stitched on it once. So, as you can tell, I was very much in love once I started stitching. I've gotten a lot of comments on my most recent Instagram post saying, "Oh my gosh, it's your Stitchy Bug. Your Stitchy Bug's back. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad it's back." I need to clarify something, because I did make it known in my post that I personally cannot tell if my Stitchy Bug is back or if this is just a new start excitement. Because here's where I'm kind of torn up on that, is if my Stitchy Bug was really back, I feel like I would keep stitching it every night. Well, I stitched it the first night, and I didn't stitch it the next night, but then I put in a couple of stitches Friday, so it's like, you know, I still think it's too early to tell if my Stitchy Bug is back, because I don't really have a desire to stitch anything else. So that's kind of what I'm kind of thinking. We're leaning more towards the new start excitement part, but that's not to say I'm not loving stitching this, because I am. I think it's just, the colors are just so, the red and green here that are most prominent. I mean, obviously it doesn't look like it because I got the one berry, but the red and green, I mean, it's just such a Christmassy sampler. I mean, it even says that on the chart somewhere. That's a very Christmassy sampler. So I'm enjoying it. I love it dearly. I'm going to keep stitching on it, and I'm going to actually stitch on this once I get done here and get this uploaded. I hope to have this uploaded tonight, because I want it uploaded. Oh, and one other thing that is kind of a quirk about this is, you'll notice that this is a center start, and you're like, Kyle, well, why is that weird? Because you start on the center of a lot of things, which is true. I start in the center on a lot of things. Samplers are not one of them. I don't think I've ever started a sampler in the center. I usually, when I ever start a sampler, I have the fabric cut with at least a 3 or 4 inch margin, and then I always start in the top left corner, and I don't work borders because I even told Laura that if I started in the top left, if I would have started with the border in the top left, that would have been guaranteed to kill any stitching vibe, because borders are not, I don't, you know, if you enjoy borders, God bless you. I know Carol stitches the borders first. It's like, hey, you do you, girl, whatever works. I want to get to the meat of samplers. And so with samplers, I start in the top left corner, and I go page by page, top row, and then however many rows follow. Just so I'm at least, you know, getting some border, but then also getting the meat of the sampler. If I were just, you know, monotonous stitching would really just not be okay with me. So I made the executive decision to start in the center for this one, and I'm glad I did, because, you know, I'm seeing a lot of the meat. Where I plan on going with this, I actually plan on, after I finish this, like, the center motif here with the birds and the fruit basket, I actually want to move up towards the top left, because I do want to stitch these swans. And their eyes are red, too, which I just now noticed, which you're not going to be able to see. But anyway, and this is the first time, now I do have a couple of the booklet formats with the spiral bound hands across the sea charts, but I've never actually started one that used this. So pros and cons. Pros, it's very, you can just, you know, and you can flip it, you know, you can do whatever with it. It's very handy, you know, you can just kind of set it right there. And what I've been doing is I got my 2 needle minders. I've just been placing it ever so gently right on there. And then you could just, you know, do your thing. Con is, you only get a very small section of the chart. I kind of like seeing a nice big bulk of the chart, just kind of, because I need to know where I'm going. And The struggle with when it's this size and you're only getting a small portion of the chart, with these giant motifs, you're having to flip pages constantly, you know, to see, okay, how far does that extend to that one? How far does it extend over there? Does it really need that much? Or, you know, you're asking those kind of questions about, you know, the chart and whatnot, when if it was just in the normal, like, book format, like Ann Morrison, where you're getting more of the chart, you know, you'd have to run into that maybe a little bit less. So that's my one thing. So anyway, so there's that. So too early to tell if the Stitchy bug is back. I'm not even going to make a guess as to if it is or not. I'm tending to lean towards its new start excitement, but hey, it's been a hell of a month. What can I say? You know. Anyway, plans. Because I honestly thought this video was going to be about 25 minutes. What are the plans? I don't have any. It's going to work on Mary Snow. I would like to get to a point where I start working on fully finishing. And, you know, I think fully finishing that pearl ball, that leaf ball, might actually be a nice change of pace, because it's not actually stitching. You're trying to finish something and fully finish, which something like that's a little like, but the instructions on how to finish it are very nice. So get some polyfill ordered and get that here. No need for a sewing machine for that, so that's great. Other than that, I don't have any plans. I don't even think I've got anything purchased that it's... Oh, wait. I do have something I bought the other night. I suppose, I don't know when it's coming in the mail, but Teresa Kitten Stitcher, Shakespeare's Peddler, her newsletter said that there's a Beth Twist Club exclusive kit. So I bought that. I was more than likely one of Teresa's first buyers for that kit, because I saw her newsletter about 10 minutes after it was sent out. So, yeah. They're already sold out, according to Teresa. So, have no idea what the Beth Twist club kit looks like. It's, you know, and it was reasonably priced, so there was no worry about that. When it shows up, I'll show it to you. But other than that, Anyway. As you can tell, there's a lot of verbal diarrhea happening, and that is just because I'm really tired. Your boy has not been sleeping very well, but it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to end this here. I'm going to clean up here. I need to clean a little bit. I'm going to grab me something to eat. Your boy plans on going somewhere tonight. I don't actually know. Follow my shenanigans on Instagram. I'm sure I'll be posting the cocktails I'll be having tonight and the beers and all that stuff. I swear, I'm not an alcoholic. I just really enjoy my alcohol. Anyway, I love you all dearly. I hope to see you sooner rather than later. I'm sorry it was a month since my last video, but, you know, holidays, no Stitchy bug, and factors into it a little bit. So hopefully I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, subscribe. I'd like to think I'm funny, okay? If you think I'm funny, follow, okay? I love you all so much. How do you like your coffee? Leave it in the comments. Okay. Love you all dearly. See y'all soon. Bye.